Ooh, what's going on, people? It's your man, the White Bee, once again. So, this beef here is mad, yeah. When I used to box, or when I used to do my shadow boxing or whatever, I'd put Porky on sometimes. But I haven't really checked him for a while. But this Carl Froch beef, has gone semi-viral, or certainly viral for a smaller YouTube. It's gone big, so it popped on my newsfeed. I thought, let me see that and check it out. Anyway, I'll give you some backstory. Porky, he's like me basically. He's another jobber, bottom feeding YouTuber, but essentially he had a solid relationship with Carl. And if you've watched Porky for a few years, he was always hanging at the back of Carl. Yeah, Carl this, Carl that, and whatever else. So I couldn't believe it when this popped up. Essentially, they're beefing now, and I can't say it better than this video. I watched it about 3 times. It was a good video, to be fair to the pork. It was a good video. Just airing out the Cobra. I'm gonna play it in a second, but I do have to say this off the rip quickly, just to kind of cuck you man on the ending. It ends up, Porky puts this video out, and it's got proper bars in there. Anyway, he puts another video out, which I'll play at the end. This comes out a day later, and basically Carl's lost his head. Porky threatens him, saying, "Listen, I've heard of things you've been." They're friends, essentially. I think Porky said at one point he's been round their house, round his mansion gaff for dinner with his wife and whatnot. And Carl's allegedly been slagging Turkey off, slagging a whole bunch of people off. Anyway, this bit pops up a day later, and Carl's like, "Oh, come on your show, come on your show." And I'm disappointed in a way with Porky that the whole thing was supposed to be, they're supposed to be friends, yeah? The whole narrative from this beef has been Carl Froch blew smoke up Porky's ass, saying, "Yeah, we're best mates. I'm going to put you on. You come on my channel. I'll help you build up," kind of thing. And Carl's backed out of it. And that's got Porky's back up, essentially. These fake friends. That's what I mean when I tell you the other day about the celebrities. You can meet all these celebrities on the internet. And in fact, even your best mate. Unless he's proper real like that. No one's looking to put no one on, end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Anyway. So Carl throws him a small bone at the end. Yeah. Carl don't want these videos and these audio tapes that he's been sending to Porky slagging Turkey off to get out. So Carl throws him a bone saying, "Yeah, I'll come on your channel." But I'm thinking, what's that going to do for Porky? What's that going to do for you? No one really... What's that going to do? If I was Porky, I'd double down right now. F it, man. Till the wheels fall off. Yeah, there's no point flaking now. If the guys... If you're... I don't know from Adam. But if you're saying Carl's a snake, yeah... how he's a Judas from Nottingham, yeah? What was it? A coal mining Judas. What do they call it when you picket line crosser? That's what he says. Porky says Carl Froch is a Nottingham coal miner strike. Is that what it is? Crossing the line. You know when you cross the line, you sell out. You're Judas. Yeah? You are working for the man. What do they call it? I can't. There's a certain word for it. Crossing the line. Cucking the picket. Yeah? You say to everyone else who's striking, I'm going to work, kind of thing. Anyway, that's what he alleges Carl is. Carl's a snake. Carl is a picket crosser. And but I'll have him back on my channel. He's thrown me a little bone. Don't do it, Porky, man. It's my advice, man. Stay on this thing here. That can be your villain arc. Yeah? He was sucking Carl Froch off almost endlessly. That would be if I had to pick a name from Porky's channel. I've probably watched 100 videos over my lifetime of Porky's. If there was one name that he'd stay on, it was Carl. It was always relating back to Carl, and then Bosh. Anyway, let's get to it from Porky. You should watch it in its entirety. I can't play it all day. I've sped it up to 1.25 speed so we get through it quicker because most of it you need to hear. But here's the crux of it. Bosh.
What does it for me with a Cobra is when somebody texted on that deluded video this morning, somebody sent me a screenshot. Let me just play this to you. Right, let me just read this out. This is from Peter G. Carl, if you read the comments, then answer this question, which I have posted many times. When will you get the one and only Russ from Porky's Corner on your channel? You use his lines too. It's the least you could do to grow his excellent channel. Pop, pop, bang. Froch on Fighting replied, "He blew it with his big mouth after my Ben interview. That was business and he made it personal. I had big plans for him and he threw it away. It's a real shame, but I'm all about loyalty. No, I stopped using his lines a long time ago." Right, let's just back up a little bit there, shall we? let's just back up and we'll change the old picture, shall we? We'll put the sea on. I like the sea. Right. Let's back up. Got a bed interview. Well, we had the Amir Khan interview, didn't we? It was like two lovers meeting, wasn't it? I didn't see the same energy, Carl. The things you said to me about Amir Khan over the years. Oh my God! I thought, wow. And then I saw the Crusher Ben interview, where he was going to do this and going to do that. And I asked him about his favourite tattoo.
Did.
Oh God! Favourite tattoo? Hey? It was business. That was business. Well, we'll back up about business, shall we? I used to do Carl Froch's scripts. Got transfers on here from bank transfers. Free £100 transfers for free scripts. Then he would offer money then. And then he was still using my one-liners but not asking for scripts. But I thought, okay. But when he made the mistake, he asked me to go on his channel. And I remember speaking to my mate Richard. You know Richard who comes on that channel? I was actually in Froch's garden with him by this stage after having lunch in his house with his lovely missus. And he asked me to go on his channel. I said, yes please, because it'd help my channel, wouldn't it? But leading up to going on his channel, he got the Lee Wood gig. I went down there with Max and ended up bumping into that Michael. He'd got press access. And how did he get press access?
Alright, I'll stop it there for a second, but I just want to... So basically, you've heard it, you can't really say it better than that, but when... Obviously, Carl was... I believe what Porky's saying. I believe Porky was... When you're starting something new, Carl's obviously got a big ego. He doesn't realise how easy this game is. If you got clout and if you're famous, all Carl ever had to do was come on here and start waffling. That said, when you don't know anything about the game, when I first started doing it, it's daunting. Like, how do I do it? What do I say? When do I say it? Eventually, obviously, you just fall into your groove. So Carl obviously was feeling nervous about making content. Porky at the time, he had something. He knew what he was doing, right, roughly. And Carl no doubt enjoyed watching Porky's channel, so he thought, yeah, I'll put you on. But I don't know what the right thing to say is, but obviously once Carl got up and running, he thought, F that, I can do it myself, kind of thing. Now, listen, he paid him $100 a few times, and there's no real responsibility for Carl, but if it's your mate, yeah, why wouldn't you put your mate on? Right? Why wouldn't you put your mate on? At the end of the day, whether he wrote you a script or didn't write you a script, why would you not put one of your mates on that's round for dinner? Right? It don't make no sense to me if you've got a big platform. What Porky was saying a second is that Carl started jucking and jiving, saying, you're a bit controversial. I don't know about that. Turned corporate. Yeah, so all this, and I don't rate it because, listen, someone like me, yeah, let's say someone wanted to come on here and bash the Jays. I'd be saying, hey bro, I'm living hand to mouth out here. You can't bash the Jays on this channel. We got bills to pay. But Carl, yeah, his whole thing's being edgy. No? So he should be like, yeah, I'm paid. I got the shmoney rolling in. I'm pushing the moody gambling. Bosh! Cop on, Porky. Do you know what I mean? Let's have a tear up on the internet. Bear in mind, you've been glazing him. You've been inviting him round for dinner. So that is in itself, it's a bit weird. Never mind the fact Carl offered it. Carl said, come on. But then once he's got the hang of it himself, I think it probably helped him as well. The fact that, like, if you look at George Groves' channel, that hasn't blown up the same as Carl's. So Carl got rapid traction for whatever reason. That's how it goes with YouTube sometimes. It's not necessarily your content's really good. There's a bunch of gimps that get loads of views, end of the day. Yeah, it's just how sometimes it's lucky, or sometimes someone sucks some YouTube executive off allegedly and it kind of goes to the moon kind of thing. Look at all these neeks out here making bare bread. Their videos are dead, man. They're dead. Yeah, a bunch of cornballs on this thing. So there's a whole bunch of executives got sucked off for the put on, is my base case. Yeah. But either way, however Carl got pumped up, exploded. Carl believes it's himself, but I don't know, again, is Carl much more a personality than George Groves? Marginally, it's not 10x, 15, 20x like we're seeing in the numbers, if you compare the channels. Anyway, the point is, he went explosive growth and thought, I have transcended the bottom feeder. Right? I'm on now. Now I'm sitting here, nickel and diming, working out, trying to be political with it. Anyway, we'll carry on with the bars from the pork.
Clinton Mitchell says, I can't let you match him with Banjo Rush. You're not allowed at shows or presses. So I went, okay. And then he come out, that Michael, and got near me, and I thought, I believe on it then. So that was that, but I didn't get press access. But Froch were trying to get back on DAZN. Your words, Carl. On here. You thought Eddie had thrown you a bone, yeah? Come and do this Leewood gig for him, we'll see about working down line with you with DAZN. There's no room at the inn for you with DAZN. There would be nothing if Leewood fought, but there's no room at the inn for you because Joshua is Eddie's guy. You're not Eddie's guy anymore. That's why you're not on DAZN. So, but once Eddie starts throwing the bones at you, or sprinkles a bit of magic if he sees you at a show, Carl, I always love you, this and that, and you're like, oh, tell the truth, Carl. It ain't about Joshua having hard fights and all that. You don't care a shit about Joshua. All you care about is getting your drink off Eddie that he promised you for introducing Joshua to Eddie. Because he was going to go to Bricktop, wasn't he? And once you nipped in, that was it. You would think, well, if we have it off, Carl, put it on here. If we have it off, you'll get looked after. Well, they've had it off with Joshua, haven't they? And you've not been looked after, so why don't you tell the truth? Instead of going on about my big mouth and me blowing it, you left me hanging for 2 years. Every time I tried to put it on, you went, well, you're a bit out there, aren't you? You know, I might be getting back on the zone as a regular. You stick it to Eddie a lot and blah, blah.
So, again, listen, man, I'm broke. At the end of the day, I'm living hand to mouth out here. I'm struggling. You know what I mean? He's just starvation out here, man. For Western standards, I'm starving out here, folks. Yeah? Bottom feeder for sure. And the reason I say that is Carl, he kind of gives it this big one of, yeah, bosh, I'll put it on you. And he was, even before he got into the zone, before he did the Conor Bennett interview and Amir Khan and that, he was saying that, and Ben Whittaker and that, he was like, yeah, I'll put it straight on Conor Hen, I'll put it on him. And I get it when you meet him, but I'm not nobody though. Right, that's the point I'm making. You're Carl's or somebody. He don't have to work again, right? He could just do what he's doing. So you'd think, and again, there's certain man. I'd say, for example, again, George Groves. He's quite corporate. He don't say nothing too edgy, so it would be nothing for him to go. You'd expect them kind of interviews from George Groves. No one's going to knock him for it. But when you talk a bunch on the internet and get in front of it and start talking about how his tattoos are going, and then say, oh, but the zone said I can't ask certain questions. It's like, where's the integrity? Top journalists say, if I can't ask the questions I want, forget the interview, don't bother. And they make a video out of that saying, hey, I was going to do an interview with him, but he told me I couldn't put it on him, so I scrapped it. And that's what builds, you think, wow, this guy's game, fair play to him. But Carl, give it the yammer about how he's just going to bash, you want some bash. And it turns out he's like everyone else. Ooh, fuck that DAZN job, is what I'll be thinking if I was him. Yeah? How much more money, how much do you think they get paid for them DAZN gigs? It's probably quite fun work, you get flown out and that, and whatever else, pause. There's no doubt there's some executives there that will fly your ass out and 100% for the put on. But, listen, for me it's when you see people, it's like me coming on here. Yeah, to be fair, I'm that broke, yeah. I'm that broke. If someone threw me 50 bags a year to Juck and Jar, I'd probably come on in Juck and Jar. But I'd tell you that. I'd just say, listen, man, you know what time it was, man. I got bills to pay, bro. But it'd be clear. I'd say, listen, man, I sold out. I got popped for the put on. That's what I'd tell you straight up. I wouldn't come on here and you think, wow, why have he gone corporate? What happened there? And everyone's wondering what happened. I'll come out straight and tell you right now, for sure. Yeah, I got popped. I was tired of living hand to mouth, and now we on, okay? That's what I'd do, for sure. Carl's still trying to be in that whole, oh, I'm edgy, and yeah, I'll stick it on and bosh. AJ's chinless, bosh. And in reality, behind the scenes, he's like, ooh, pork, mate. Oh, I'd love to have you on. I really would love to, but, you know, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Wow. You're a sellout. You're an absolute sellout. And I bought into you for 20 odd years. I've had your phone number since Robin Reed fight. We've been good mates since then. We've been out together. We've done this, done that. You bottled it in the Ben interview. You were going to do this and going to do that with Turkey Al Sheik. Now look at you hanging out the back of him. I'm going back to Saudi. Why don't you tell the world what you really think about Saudi and them sorts? Tell them. All up there. Tell them. You're not going to do, are you? You're not going to get in the old Bunsen burner, as you call it. The Ben Whittaker interview, you're going to do wonders. All you did was sit on cucumbers. That's the bottom line. I'm crazy enough to put these out here. You'd have to leave town. You'd have to shut your channel down because nobody would come on. Because they'd know about the real Carl Froch, wouldn't they? Oh, yeah. So don't you be saying I'm a big mouth. I want an apology for that. Alright, saying I blew. I don't want to come on your channel now. But you can sort that message out because I ain't having that. I've gone into bat for you. It's true, isn't it? I've gone into bat for you. You even applied for an MBE for you, did all running about. Not thanked me once. Not fucking once. Me and your mum had to chase him out. Yeah, you mum Carol. You know, like, so selfish, Carl. Absolutely unbelievable.
So that this here adds context. We were saying a second ago about how, well, if you're friends, no one owes you nothing. There's a narrative, oh, Carl don't owe him nothing. But if that's the case, and I tend to believe Pork again, if he really was out there with Carl's mum doing the MB, why would you not put your friend on, man? It's not like you need it. Yeah, if all Carl had was his stinky YouTube channel like the YB, I'd get it. I'd be like, listen, man, I get why you don't want to rock the boat. But it's not even like the Pork's talking something that's going to get you smoked. You might not work in the zone again, but you ain't working at the zone anyway. All this jucking and jiving Carl been doing ain't even at the zone. Turkey flew his ass in. Pause. That's how he got in the mix again. It was Turkey flying him in. Right? That's how it was. So, end of the day, you've got more video to watch. It's hilarious, man. Watch this video for sure. But there's no other way of looking at it. That if Porky's been doing things for you, I mean, you don't have a man round with your kids and your wife for dinner for nothing, do you? That's close people, you'd have thought, right? So why not just sort him out? If you've said you're going to do it, right? Carl said initially, before Carl got onto the scene, when Carl thought he was going to be washed up on YouTube and not doing the numbers, he was like, yeah, Pork, I'll come on yours, you come on mine. But now he's buzzing, and he's thinking, I can do it myself. That's a user. That is selfish. That is a user. Because if Carl was getting 500 views still, you best believe he'd had Porky on. You best believe he'd have been intermingling and whatnot. That's what I believe would have happened.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable! But one thing I learned off Dennis Hobson, always have a card up your sleeve when you're dealing with people in boxing. You never know when they're going to turn on you. You offered me on your channel, you even said on here, and you bottled it. You're a bit out there, focus. Anyway, it's a boring story now, way back east. Absolute boring story. But you replied to that text and let your guard down. And my inbox was chocker this morning. Absolutely chocker. But it is what it is. I mean, look, you want to talk about loyalty. Where were your loyalty with Mick Hennessy? There was no loyalty there, was there? You settled out of court with Mick Hennessy, didn't you, 300 bags? No loyalty whatsoever. If Mick Hennessy were that bad, why don't you take him on in high court? Instead of losing your arsehole and settling out of court. On strength of what? Eddie's that bad. Do me a favour. Do me a favour. I remember Eddie, when he first got you a gig at Matchroom, your first ever gig, what were it? 10,000 quid to go to a beer tent and do a meet and greet for an hour. Oh, that was good money, wasn't it? But what happened when we spotted Frank Smith? And this is going back 2010, is it? 2010. Spotty Frank Smith come up to you and give you 10 grand and you went, wait there, Frank. You counted the money, didn't you? Do you remember? And what happened? There were 8.5 there. And Frank Smith went, oh, the rest of it's Eddie's drink. So what did you do? You ripped Spotty Frank Smith's shirt off his back.
That's another crazy story, man. This sounds like the trap game. So Porky's explaining a story where Carl Froch paid 10 bags, 10 large, to do some sort of charity moody event for Matchroom or whatever. Frank Smith brings the bread, and it's short, and Frank explains it saying, "Oh, Eddie had a £1,500 drink on it." It's crazy. You'd think Eddie, yeah. Why would Eddie Hearn need a £1,500 drink for? Right? What's that? What's $1,500 to Eddie? Maybe back in 2010, though, they weren't doing as well. But even then, Matchroom would have been what, 30 mil company, and you've agreed to pay 10. Why does Eddie need a drink for? It's like, and you find this with a lot of the top man. I watched a documentary on Park Avenue, which is some expensive district in New York, and the drivers and the door openers who've been opening the door all winter or whatever would say the billionaires were the tightest individuals on the planet. Yeah, so a dude who's been driving them around all year, you get $100 tip for Christmas. And they got billions. Like, that's mad, isn't it? That's a fun. I'd feel, I don't know, if I had billions, yeah, and you can say, well, that's how they got there. Really? If you give someone $1,000, what would that do? It wouldn't do much. How many people are that close to you in your life? What? Even if you call it 50 people, what would 50 grand be to a billionaire? Right? Won't make a scrap of difference whatsoever. And you're seeing that here with Eggy wanting his drink on everything. Like, he's doing these little tiny deals. Oh, yeah, pay him $1,000 and I want my little drink. I want my 150 off it. It's crazy, man. Frank, to be fair, it might have been Frank Smith, though. It might have actually been. I'm not sure it was Eggy. It might have been Frank Smith doing one of them ones, yeah? Eggy gives him 10 large, and Frank's like thinking Carl won't count it. It's crazy, man. Even these corporate men are playing with the numbers. That's wild.
There's more to come on you, Cobra, unless I get an apology. I can assure you I'm going to build it up to a crescendo. And it'll give my channel a bit of traction, like what you're doing with your own channel, because there's more to come on you, Cobra, unless I get an apology. I can assure you I'm going to build it up to a crescendo. And it'll give my channel a bit of traction, like what you're doing with your own channel, because when you were ignoring my text messages about when am I coming on your channel, that's no different to Eddie Hills ignoring your calls when you're asking for your Joshua drink. There's a pecking order, isn't there? So it is what it is. Like I said, I don't need to come on your channel. I'm alright, I'm sitting pretty. I'm happy. I'm happy with my life. But you're not happy, Carl, you're not happy. Once Sky got rid of you for not wearing that Black Lives Matter badge, you've gone the other way, haven't you? And it kills you, doesn't it? It absolutely fries you when you see people like Bellew and Barker and Dazone, whose careers are nowhere as good as yours. But that mouth's not going to show. I'm going to show you what a big mouth I am and what I'm capable of. So get ready. But getting back to Joshua, he has been floored.
So, this ends this video. And just bear in mind before we play the next one, in fact we'll go straight to it now, but just bear in mind that Porky says, he says, Bosh, I'm going to make a career. I'm going to start putting things, I'm building up to a crescendo. I'm going to roast your ass. And I think that's the way to go now. Because that's the way to go, man. End of the day, this is good to watch. Honestly, I can't think of in recent times when I've laughed. I don't know why it tickled me so much, but it did. It was good. I guess we all like beefs, right? But it's deserved. It's not like a sneaky beef. Is like when people are bitching and moaning, but this is legit. Yeah, this for me is legit qualm. And Carl, when in that comment, when someone said, hey, put Porky on your channel, when are you going to put him on? And Carl replied saying, oh, Porky's blew it. He could have had the world. But it's like, whoa, that's giving me the ick. Another man telling, oh, you could have had the world, but I hold the key kind of thing. Like, whoa, bro, that's mad. And there's another funny part, actually, before we get to the last bit.
It's boxing, but Maggie interview. Look, I told you before and I'll say it again. You're not getting a drink off Eddie for introducing Joshua to him. You're not going to get a drink. You're not going to get a drink for that. He ain't going to give you. You should do it as a mate. That's what mates do. If I were to accept a drink for everybody I put in touch with people in boxing, I'd be a millionaire now. I'd be a millionaire. I'd put more people together in boxing than you can imagine. That's Terry Chappendama, Dennis Hobson, people like that. And they've gone on to do business and that. There's been no in it for me. There's a drink, yeah, you drink Tom Bar or so. And that's it. You do things that good to see your heart. When Eddie is giving you over checks for over 8 million quid net, giving you millions of pounds, and opportunities that you wouldn't have got to make any sense. When he's doing that for you, just give something back. No, you'll have a word with Joshua, get signed for you, Eddie. Nice one, Eddie. But it is what it is, isn't it, when you wanted pain all the time, blah, blah, blah. So don't talk to me about, I had a chance and I blew it. You were going to build a studio, weren't you? You're still filming in your front room, showing your belts off. You were going to build a studio, weren't you? Right? You've got enough properties, big house, they get one built. What we're going to do, Porky, we're going to put you in there, you do all the scripts and I'll do this and do that. We'll pay you this, pay you that. Your words, not mine. I said, yes, please. Well, why not? We're mates, won't we? Hey? Mates for nearly a 20 stretch. And they're slagging me off like that. You went back on your word because you thought there was an opportunity to get back in with Eddie, and last thing you needed was me, the plague. Because I stick it to Eddie, don't I? Right now, Eddie's got more respect for me than you. So I stick to me guns. I ain't turned never. I didn't sell myself out in a Conor Ben interview. Do you know who was sat laughing down there at Great Wally in Brentwood, Essex? They were all laughing at you with Crusher Ben. Well, I couldn't really go heavy on him. He's Tony Sims' fighter and Tony with the corneas. That don't mean shit. You're the media now. I can't believe it. Absolutely can't believe it. But like I said, there's more to come, Froch. I'm going to show you what I'm about. I'm pushing 55-year-old. I'm not bothered. I'm going to say what I want to say, so pipe down. And it's a shame, isn't it, really, because I think you've got a lovely family. But your ego's massive, mate. Absolutely massive. You're not a man of your word. You're not a man of your word. So, it is what it is, isn't it? In other news, water's wet.
Okay, and this is the video. So that's the initial call out expose, and then unfortunately the pork jumps back on the blower, and Carl's, and this does sum up Carl's character. Carl's folded essentially. Oh, panicked. Oh, I'll have you on. Oh, we'll work together, pork. But he's through pork a stinky bone here, and I wouldn't take it if I was the pork. The minimum I'd take is I'm on your channel. Yeah, and it sounds petty. I want to be on yours, but Carl coming on the Pork's channel. Anyway, let me play the video. I've talked too much.
Carl Froch has been in touch, which is good news, isn't it? He wants to come on Porky's Corner. All of a sudden. So I've said yeah. This is how I want to do it. A two-parter. 20 questions or 20 bullet points, or 20 topics, whatever. 3 minutes a topic. That's an hour, isn't it? In a two-parter on Zoom. He's agreed. He didn't think I wanted him on channel and vice versa. I don't know where the confusion's come from, but he's come to...
So Carl said, oh, I didn't know you wanted me on your channel. Well, come on, bro. It's like me being friends with Drake, right? It's like me being friends with Drake and Drake saying, oh, I didn't know you wanted me on your track. Well, obviously, why wouldn't you want Drake on your track? Why wouldn't you want Carl Froch on a boxing channel as such? I don't... Carl's backpedaling, he's panicked, his arse has fell out end of the day for whatever reason. I get it though, when you can't play with Turkey like that, man. You can wind up missing playing with Turkey. So you don't want them Turkey receipts getting leaked. That's what you don't want, but still. All the talk about the Cobra, it just fell apart. And we saw that already. I did a video on it with the whole Conor Ben interview, and it's not what it was. And I get it again. I get why it's hard to put it on someone in person, but it's just one of them ones. End of the day.
To the table. So I think that's good. He goes on another channel that's ain't got many subscribers. I think it's about 1,000. He's a regular on there. So I don't think he needs to go on big channels. I think he just goes on when he feels like it. So mine's not a massive channel, is it? I'm just independent, aren't I? But he's agreed to come on. That's good. That's next week. I don't know what day. I'm not going to do the questions myself because I don't think we'd have got Carl on this channel if it hadn't have been for all the people that follow my channel, keep leaving loads of comments and gaining bits of stick. So I want to thank everybody that follows my channel. I don't like people calling it a cult channel. It ain't a cult. PorkyCorner@mail.com. So send me your questions. First 20, I'm going to pull them out of the bag. A bit like competition time, innit? And I'm going to say obviously he's going to want to know what I'm going to ask him. This is how he does it. So he likes to be organised, doesn't he? And that's a bit regimented. It's either that or he thinks I might stitch him up. I'm not gonna. I shoot straight from him normally, but to get it over the line, I'm going to send him the questions. So I think they should come from fans really, because a lot of people they give him a bit of stick, and quite rightly.
So they're giving. So it's like, again, this is I've got to send Carl the questions, and it's not going to be my questions. And top comment here says, "Can't believe it, Russ. After what you've said, you're not going to get stuck in." This is I'm just listen, man. I'm telling you now. Yeah, at the very minimum, and I'm not even sure you bother doing it now. It's shown if you have to press someone to get what you've been promised by a friend, it's fake and gay anyway, right? So my advice would be, at the very minimum, he needs to put you on his channel, like he said he would. End of the day, yeah, that's what he needs to do at the very minimum. But I think more so, I agree with the comments here. Just stick it on him, man. Stick it on him. Let it all hang out. End of the day, because why would you even wanna? And even if okay, he's on your channel, why are you not doing your own? Do your own questions. And to be fair, a lot of the consumer questions will be good anyway, because this is where we're at right now. We all want to know what time it is. We all want to know it's bosh time. Then that said, though, I reckon Carl, that's why he wants the script. He wants the questions, because he's not going to come on. And or that might be the next thing. And or maybe Carl will select the questions. I don't know, but I don't know why Pork's lost the energy for, man. He was on the right track there. Now you're like, yeah, he didn't know that I wanted him on my channel, so now maybe we can do this one and maybe we can do that one, and but yeah, I'm not going to answer questions. It's like Carl's clearly folded, but the Pork ain't looking too good either. I don't know what's gone on here. It's a bit off, to be honest. It's not the right move for me.
So, he's obviously put some out on his channel. He's gonna fix it. So, he's fixing it, so we have to give him a bit of respect for that. But there's no easy rides on here with me. So. He's
fixing it. Another comment here. Froch is mugging Porky off, and it looks like he's falling for it a bit. Disappointing, really. End of the day. That's just these comments. I wouldn't. If I thought the comments were shitty, I'd tell you that. It's not because I'm trying to be the top edgy comments. That is the truth, though. If I'm honest, it feels like a muggins. I was gassed after that last one, the initial video. This thing here, it's a stinky bone, man. Yeah. He's popping your missus' backside and telling you it's raining, kind of thing. That's what he's doing. You know, he's popping your missus' backside and telling you he's giving her a service. Do you know what I mean? Come on.
Oh, We'll see what I'm about when we get him on. We'll ask him the questions. Have a good idea what some of them are. Obviously, we don't want any filth sending in or anything too vile, but just boxing questions. And I'll ask him the questions next week. So there you go. So we're going to see, aren't we? He's coming on, so that's good. Can't turn around and say, "Oh, you're a bit out there." Because look, I think the bridges are burnt now, aren't they? With Matchroom and the Cobra, which is a shame, isn't it? Because Carl put them on the map, didn't he? Let's give it. But they put a lot of money in his bank account.
There we go, back on the car. Oh, Carl put him on the map. It's back on the Carl Froch glaze, and that's what he was like for about 10 years. For 10 years, it was like Carl did everything, and he's mugged you off, mate. He's mugged you off and give you a little shitty interview on your shitty channel. It's like, what's that gonna do? I could have Carl Froch on my channel. It wouldn't make a scrap of difference. It might do like a little tick here, a little tick up here, or tick down there. It's not gonna make a difference, man. The put on is bosh. Yeah, Porky's got this guy. If I was the Pork, I'd say, listen, man, we're doing a weekly feature indefinitely. Yeah, we got a Porky by Carl Froch feature every week on your channel. That's what I think would be. If he came out saying that, yeah, Carl's got his tail between his legs. He's come to me with his begging pot out, and he said he'll do anything. That is what the anything would be. I'm on your channel every week for the next year. Yeah, for all of eternity is when I'm on your channel every week, no doubt. Otherwise, we just go explosive. That's what I'd do. I'd go explosive with it. This is dead. 2 moody interviews with Carl Froch, and they're going to be glazers as well. Yeah, some cat in the comments said, here, ask him if he likes your tattoos. Listen, the streets have spoke now, the Pork. You put it out there, man. You could have kept it to yourself, but you put it out there now, and you're going outside to tell the truth. After dropping them good bars, I give you credit for it. It was good. It was hot. It was funny. After dropping that, you kind of, yeah, you're falling off, man, for sure.
Counting it for the 7 fights that he had with Eddie. So, okie dokie. I think that's about it, really, for that issue. So, get your questions sent, and just put for instance, if you're Merc, and I parked in this Merc, and the coolness of, the right to not put the video out, and I deleted it, so come and give me a boost. So, yeah, at 11 o'clock at night, I'll never forget. But I gave Robin the coolness of, the right to not put the video out, and I deleted it, so I always do that. I don't like to stitch anybody up. That's about it, really. But there were no untowards said in it, but hey ho, I don't really like doing that, but I had no choice then, so I just started. But I'll give him the right, and if Carl's not happy, we'll take it down. But
I'll give Carl, if Carl's not, so basically Porks just said that if Carl's not happy with the interview, I'll take it down. I was like, well, I'm thinking maybe Carl hasn't got his tail between his legs. Maybe it's a truce, or I don't know what it is. It seems a bit, the energy he had, it's just gone. Oh yeah, well, that's what's going to happen. Carl's not likely going to like it. If it's any good, this is how it goes. I'm telling you now, I'll give you the play right now. If the interview's any good for the masses, yeah, it's not going out. So it's going to be one of 2 things. The interview's going to be shit. It's going to be like, oh, Carl, tell us what it was like. Carl, how many fans did you fight in front of? Carl, what was it like knocking George Groves? Shabako. Yeah? Otherwise, it will be, Carl, I don't like it, and I'm pulling the interview down. What's the point of doing that, man? That's gay.
That's probably why he wants the questions. It is what it is, isn't it? So, but I'll give him the right, and if Carl's not happy, we'll take it down. But so that's probably why he wants the questions. It is what it is, isn't it? So, okie dokie. That's about it. So we're looking forward to that.
What do you mean it is what it is? Right, this is your thing, bro. It's not. Where's the smoke gone? You lost all the smoke, and this is the thing with it. If you're enamoured with celebrity, I remember Carl commented on one of my videos once, and even me, who's probably one of the top tier of baseness, it kind of, you like, you start gasping, right? This man can pay my bills. But you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You think, oh, I'm getting seen, kind of thing, and I think that's happened here for the Pork. Yeah, but I'm telling you now, there's no celebrity. Listen, like I said, if Carl said to me, hey, well, I'll pay your bills, then I'll be, yeah. If he said to me, I want to jump on your channel and do 2 moody interviews talking boxing, I'd say, nah, keep that, man, that's dead. I wouldn't even want to do an interview talking boxing like that. I like hearing myself speak. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to sit there talking boxing, man, with Carl like that. Do you understand? So it feels to me like the celebrities come back to him, and he's like, oh, I'm so grateful to, oh, finally. kind of thing. He's one of them. I'm trying to find a bit where he talks about the Nottingham mining strike. It's hilarious. There was a documentary on it actually. It's just funny. I need to find it. It's not. No, I can't find it now. That's gonna piss me off. But it was a good little bit he did about everyone from Nottingham. Oh, everyone from Nottingham. What's the word it is? It's like a picket brand. I'm not sure there's a particular word for it, but he said everyone from Nottingham. He's like, I'm not surprised. Not surprised. I wouldn't expect any less from Carl. I don't know where he found it, man. It's proper annoying. Maybe it's on this one. Let me have a quick look, quickly. Let me have a look. It's worth hearing. It's funny, man.
People of Nottingham.
This is it here. I found it, man. This is too much. It's too much.
Into the strike when the miners weren't working. They ran out of them big piling loads of coal up. You know what I mean? That's what you get. So every coal cup in my kids' school, pop, bang. Somebody says to me, Porky, how did the miners' strike end? I said, well, this is how the miners' strike ended. It started with Maggie Thatcher piling loads of coal up, giving men loads of overtime. 18 months leading into the strike. 10 months into the strike, when the miners weren't working, they ran out of them big mountains of coal. What happened? People in Nottingham went back to work, didn't they? That's who sunk the miners' strike. The people of Nottingham. Oh, do we know from Nottingham? Hey?
Oh man, that was good. Who do we know from Nottingham? That's diabolical, man.
People in Nottingham went back to work, didn't they? That's who sunk the miners' strike. The people of Nottingham. Who do we know from Nottingham? Hey? It's a cancer that spreads, isn't it? You know, disloyalty. But it is what it is.
Oh man, so anyway, on that note, on the last note, obviously, I just implore Porky to, like you said, and I've watched a documentary on the whole strike situation with Thatcher. I think it's on Netflix maybe, or BBC, something like that. And there was one dude who broke the strike, and he was living at his dad's house. Yeah, he was living at his dad's house, and his dad was a miner. A lot of them things are generational, but his dad was a miner, obviously retired. And his dad said, if you break the strike, you're out. Yeah, and his dad kicked him out and ain't spoke for like 30 years or something. I think his dad was dead at that point. And he said he ain't spoke to his dad since. And I respect that. Principles. And if that dad could not speak to his son for selling out to them ones, yeah, El Unrata, yeah, if he can disown his son based on principle, Porky can disown. And it's a great reference, but he brought up Froch, Nottingham, and the coal strike. If you're saying, if you're putting him in the same realm, if a man can dead his son off and kick him out of the house for being a traitor, for being a J, okay, then Porky can dead off Carl Froch at the end of the day. And that'd be my base case for what the port needs to do. That's what the masses want anyway. If he's fake, why do you want to be interacting with fake people for? Right? Just because he's doing what's best for him. He's realised, oh, I don't want them turkey tapes coming out, so I'm just going to hop on this one quickly, right? So while you get, people said in the comments, you're getting played and it's looking like that. He's threw you a little stinky bone and you're ranking off over it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like for the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this, some people stop it. Yep, ball.